Good afternoon, 4 o'clock. I'm Steve Key with news on Zoomer Radio. Tonight, cloudy with a chance of showers or drizzle, some fog patches. Temperature's going to hold steady around 11, and that's what it is right now, 11 Celsius, 52 Fahrenheit. In the news, the Ford government is making it illegal for education workers to strike. But despite the legislation, CUPE plans to stage a province-wide protest on Friday and possibly beyond, something Education Minister Stephen Lecce calls regretful and concerning.
It is certainly our intention that the kids will be in school. We will pass a law supportive of children staying home for even one day of a strike.
Lecce says he believes the government's legislation is constitutional. The clause allows the legislature to override portions of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms for a 5-year term. The NDP's education critic, Chandra Pasma, is responding to the Ford government's legislation. She says many are leaving the sector and some are being forced to use food banks due to low pay.
Stephen Lecce and Doug Ford's law is not about preventing strikes.
The commissioner overseeing the Emergencies Act inquiry says a court should dismiss an application to exempt Premier Doug Ford and his former Solicitor General from testifying. The two are claiming parliamentary privilege, but the commissioner says they have overstated that privilege. Meantime, a lawyer for Ottawa Police has suggested former Chief Peter Slowly was concerned about losing his job and was already looking for someone else to blame several days into the Freedom Convoy protests that gridlocked the city last winter. Slowly has denied the suggestion as he continued his testimony at a public inquiry investigating the federal government's use of emergency powers to end the crisis. He also testified he felt the situation was a tinderbox waiting to explode.
The overarching sense was a tinderbox, but there were clearly, I think there were some genuine people trying to do some genuine things, and there was a lot of disingenuous people doing very dangerous things.
Slowly stepped down the day after the Emergencies Act was introduced. Prosecutors say the Canadian-born suspect in Friday's attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband wanted to hold her hostage and break her kneecaps. But the speaker wasn't home when he broke into the couple's home and instead confronted her husband, 82-year-old Paul Pelosi, and beat him with a hammer. 42-year-old David DePage, originally from BC, has been formally charged today. Canada is adding Iran's national police force and an Iranian international university to its sanctions list. The sanctions come as Tehran continues to crack down on weeks of dissent. Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly accused the police force of participating in a lethal suppression and arbitrary detention of Iranian protesters. Security forces have dispersed gatherings with live ammunition and tear gas over weeks of sustained protests. A massive barrage of Russian strikes has hit critical infrastructure in Kyiv, Kharkiv, and other cities in Ukraine. The attacks overnight knocked out water and power supplies in apparent retaliation for what Moscow alleged was a Ukrainian attack on its Black Sea fleet over the weekend. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says that 80% of consumers in the city were left without water supplies. Unofficial closing market numbers: TSX up 11 at 19,482, Dow down 70 at 32,792, oil down 179 a barrel to 86.11, gold down 8.90 an ounce to 1636.90, and the Canadian dollar down to 73.43 cents U.S. Zoomer Radio weather tonight: cloudy, 30% chance of showers or drizzle with some fog patches. Temperatures going to hold steady near 11. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy. The fog patches will dissipate late in the morning. A high of 17. Wednesday, sunny and 15. Right now, 11 Celsius, 52 Fahrenheit. I'm Steve Key. News next at 5 on Zoomer Radio.